Byle i będzie. Don't. Yeah. Scroll in the tube, found a star in the chaos. Duty spitting facts like a modern day seance. Trending waves, politics in the spotlight. Raw with the wit, hits you sharp like a frostbite. Come on y'all, let's discuss her anthem, her creed. Breaking down the drama, uncovering the greed. Laugh through the truth, it's enlightenment with flair. Tootie talk sense, ain't no nonsense over there. Come on, we tuned into Tootie's vibe. High energy keeps the convo alive. From scandals to news, she hit it all bright. Tootie taking the mic like she owns the fight. Attention, detention, the trends are her prey. Mix politics with comedy in a slick ballet. Tootie busts through lies like a battering ram. Sharp commentary, she ain't giving a damn. Come on, we tuned into Tootie's vibe. High energy keeps the convo alive. From scandals to news, she hit it all bright. Tootie taking the mic like she owns the fight.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Tootie Talk Sense. I was watching the news and I seen that, now man, y'all, I haven't been watching the news in a while, but I was seeing that the U.S. arrested the Venezuelan president and his wife. So come on, y'all, let's discuss. We finna talk about that. He arrested the Venezuelan president and his wife. He's got them in jail. He's putting them on trial. Pretty much, y'all know the story was initially that Venezuela and they was, bombing all those boats up out the sea because of, they said out the ocean because they said of, it was, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but DRUG, that they said it was those type of boats. So that's the reason they was bombing them. Let me check this. Yeah, I know everybody else was saying, nah, it's about that oil. He trying to get Venezuelan oil because there's no evidence that those was I hope I could say it because if not, they just gonna block it out because I'm not gonna keep spelling that those was because I don't want to say D boats because y'all man is nasty and y'all will go somewhere else if I say D boats. Okay, so we gonna act like we saying okay, maybe we could keep D boats and y'all know what I'm talking about. That I ain't talking about the nasty D, that I'm talking about DRUG, right? So they were saying that these was D boats, that they was just exploding out the ocean, but they show no evidence that it was D boats. There was reports that one of the boats was a fisherman, and their family came forth and said they was just fishermen, and they exploded them boats out the ocean. Then the latest that not the latest, I had to stop watching the news. Let me take 1 minute because I'm see myself talking fast. So the last time I was on here was Christmas Eve, and I came on here and I did a video, I think about crazy MAGA Nikki, or Nikki Owens is what I call her now, because that's who I think they're setting up to replace Candace Owens, because Candace in Turning Point USA is into it. So that was Christmas Eve, the very next day. And I told you I hadn't been consistent on this channel because my oldest daughter was in and out the hospital. She was in and out the hospital. They did emergency surgery, removed her appendix, sent her home every 2 days. She was in so much pain. She couldn't walk. We would have to take her back to the hospital. They'll give her pain pills. And then they found a cyst on her uterus. And then like it was just inflammation in her stomach. So we was back and forth in the hospital for a couple of weeks. So I wasn't on here. So I was asking for y'all prayers for her. This is my oldest, my 22-year-old. Then that was on Christmas Eve that I came and did the videos. And the very next day, Christmas Day, she received the news that her father passed. So again, send up your prayers, send up your good energy for my daughter with the loss of her father. So I hadn't been on here. I hadn't watched the news and been able to catch what been going on in politics or gossip, pretty much anything. So yesterday I cut on the news, but actually my husband was watching and I heard some of it. And I was like, wait, Did they just say the U.S. went to another country and arrested their president? I said, this not the party of we finna stay out of people's shit, that we finna man our own business. That's the party we don't want no more. That's one of the things that Trump ran on. Like the U.S. spent too much money over in other people's countries, sending their forces and stuff, when the U.S. needs to focus on the U.S. I said, it ain't even made a year yet. Yeah, it won't make a year to January. Wait a minute. This is like the nigga that keep cheating and you take him back and he cheat again within a month. You like, wait a minute, nigga. Like, you just said you was a changed man. Like, what is going on? So I had to do some research. Like, wait, what? And then I seen the press conference that, like I said, I seen the press conference. I want to see. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm trying to see if I can bring up the video, because I had previously made a video about how this whole Venezuela blowing up boat shit is about the oil. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But so not only that they arrest him and his wife, then I seen a news conference where Trump was saying that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela for the time being. And I'm like, wait, ain't that the same plan you got for Gaza? So are we now just systematically like going through the world and taking over people? I'm like, history repeats itself. I mean, you can't be too shocked because, it's us, it's the U.S. But thought this was the party who wanted to not do that anymore. But yes, I was wrong. And I think they took that video down. Let me see. They may have taken my video down about but you know what? A lot of it was on the Daily Show. So I might be able to just show y'all the Daily Show. Yeah, they took my video down. Because it's a very good comparison between the Iraq war and everything that they said with the Iraq war is the same thing that's going on with Venezuela. And let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find it, because when y'all see the comparisons and how close those comparisons is, I don't want the Trump Iraq. Give me a minute, y'all. This is short, maybe, but this is only okay. Let me see. Here we go.
Because as much as you say war with Venezuela would be so different from Iraq, it seems like you may be using the neocons' sales manual. Like, other than WMDs, why was it so important to take down Saddam Hussein?
His regime has an active support for and cooperation with terrorist networks.
Terrorist networks. That's the worst kind of networks. Even including Paramount Plus. It's the worst kind of network. Well, you'll never guess where the terrorists are now.
Iran, its IRGC, and even Hezbollah, they have planted their flag on Venezuelan territory with the full and open cooperation of that regime.
Wow, so if you're saying we go to war with Venezuela, we're also getting into a proxy war with Iran. I'm sold. Now, if I remember correctly, though, Iraq lasted until still. And what did they say about that?
I think it would be a cakewalk.
I don't think it would be that tough a fight.
I think the saddest part of getting into a war of choice in 2025 is that Dick Cheney won't be around to see it. I didn't want to have to do this.
But
The
then
two
there's a
forces
longer one.
if
I'm
you're going
gonna,
to
I'm
bring
gonna
back early
share
2000s,
this and see if I could show you the longer one, because then in the longer one do talk about the oil. So I'm trying to see if I can find it, because I had put it all together in an easy clip. Okay, this is somebody else clip. This is secular talk, but his is about 12 minutes, and hopefully we don't have to go through the whole 12 minutes.
Regime is doing in Venezuela. And, it just feels like we're right back in fucking 2003. Like, this is George W. Bush. This is Dick Cheney. So I need you to share this video with.
MAGA is doing. They're convincing us that Iraq was an entirely different set of circumstances. That country was led by a sword-wielding, mustachioed.
Okay, so this the video I had pieced together, but they removed my video. So this one is still up, who is through somebody else, but the original shows, and this is what he's showing. So I'm gonna show y'all this because I can't find daily show original. But it's gonna give you a great comparison between Venezuela and Iraq. Iraq. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue today. I ain't even do nothing nasty last night. So it is gonna be a great comparison. That is just history repeating itself. And I'm like, it's laid out clear as day what was going on. So I'm gonna show you this, which was December 8th, I think. So watch this and you're gonna see the
Madman who held an iron grip on his people and his power. Nicolas Maduro is nothing like. Oh, shit. Well, look, I'm sure a lot of leaders use the same sword guy. Superficial coincidence. Same sword, same mustache. I'm sure they wear different hats. It's not a kind of oh boy. All right. So the two dictators share a remarkably similar taste in facial hair, body shape, ceremonial sabers, and headgear. It doesn't mean that the pretext for the wars will be the same.
That drugged out dinghy was a floating weapon of mass destruction. Every boat carrying fentanyl and drugs in this country is a weapon of mass destruction.
Are you f***ing kidding?
And we all remember the weapon of mass destructions that was never found, that the whole war was started over, and the war that, like he said, still to this day is pretty much going on. But
Kidding me right now. You guys have the balls to tell us that the pretext for Iraq was bullshit and that war was a mistake, and we're not like that. And also, Venezuela has weapons of mass destruction and we have to stop them. Or is WMD just the new slang? Like, yo, bro, Venezuela's total WMD 6'7", what's up? Like, is that what we're doing? And for those of you who are like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that all the fentanyl in the U.S. comes from Venezuela, that's because it doesn't. Like, almost none of it. Like, none of it. Look, you know what? I didn't want to have to do this.
I think the last statistic I read about the fentanyl that came from Venezuela, it was either 1% or less than 1%. The fentanyl comes from China. The one he said he's going to be selling Venezuelan oil to China, that's where the fentanyl come from. They probably need more oil to produce their fentanyl. I don't know.
You force my hand. If you're going to bring back early 2000s geopolitics, I'm going to have to bring back early 2000s Daily Show gotcha clips. Because as much as you say war with Venezuela would be so different from Iraq, it seems like you may be using the neocons' sales manual. Like, other than WMDs, why was it so important to take down Saddam Hussein?
His regime has an active support for and cooperation with terrorist networks.
Terrorist networks. That's the worst kind of networks. Even including Paramount Plus. It's the worst kind of network. You were going to get me fired. Well, you'll never guess where the terrorists are now.
Iran, its IRGC, and even Hezbollah, they have planted their flag on Venezuelan territory with the full and open cooperation of that regime.
Wow, so if you're saying we go to war with Venezuela, we're also getting into a proxy war with Iran. I'm sold. Now, if I remember correctly, though, Iraq lasted until still. And what did they say about that?
I think it would be a cakewalk.
I don't think it would be that tough a fight.
I think the saddest part of getting into a war of choice in 2025 is that Dick Cheney won't be around to say it. Don't do that!
So that's the part I just showed you, but this clip includes more. So we're going to continue to watch more of it.
The only solace is I'm sure that he is looking up at us right now. Really proud. Probably some birds picking, But yeah, quick and easy. That was Iraq. Guess what they're saying now?
A few punches to the face and they will go.
This is going to be an easy job for the United States.
How eerie is the Iraq parallel? Well, we got one guy making the same case for both wars. And yes, it's who you think.
Saddam Hussein's a threat to my country. He's a threat to our way of life. He needs to go.
Maduro is an existential threat to the people of the United States.
It is time for Maduro to go.
Now, to be fair, some things have changed over the last 20 years. Back in the Iraq War, we used to play clips of Lindsey Graham and make jokes suggesting that he's secretly gay. But now, we know that was inappropriate. But you know what?
I'm quite sure y'all are thinking, so I know y'all get the joke. The joke is that it's not that we don't think he's secretly gay. It's that we shouldn't have made the jokes.
You know what? I'm not even going to play around anymore. Hit me with the works. Iraq, Venezuela, go!
We're giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way. And when it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
If we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
It's literally like, this is incredible. This is incredible. What an amazing job from Jon Stewart here. The parallels are striking. The parallels are overwhelming, bro. The imperialism and the colonialism and the neoconservatism, it marches on. I mean, the Republican Party, it's so embedded in their DNA.
Giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way. And when it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
If we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Chemical weapons is a threat to the United States.
Fentanyl poses a chemical weapons threat to the United States.
Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq.
Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere.
We can get rid of Saddam if we really begin to transform the region.
There's an opportunity to transform the entire region.
Bringing freedom and democracy.
Democracy and freedom can serve as a
Beacon of hope.
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe, indeed. If you think this is getting confusing, you're not alone. Even senators can't keep these Bush or Trump wars straight. This is Senator Tom Cotton from this weekend.
I think President Bush has every power under the Constitution to strike boats in international waters.
Oopsie poopsie. That's a little Freudian. Feels like calling the teacher mom in the middle of a war crime. Well, let's be fair. These wars aren't exactly the same. For example, how the Bush administration went to great pains to convince everyone that the Iraq war had a higher purpose.
It has nothing to do with oil. Literally nothing to do with oil.
Literally. Nothing. So yeah, the one lesson this administration seems to have taken from Iraq is, beyond the weapons of mass destruction and fentanyl disruption and regime change, yada, 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 there might also be a side benefit to this war you should know about.
Venezuela has the largest reserves of oil in the world. Venezuela that has a rich natural energy resources.
Massive oil reserve. They have gold. They have rare earths.
Oil, gold, and minerals.
And I am sure there are U.S. companies that would like to do business there.
Venezuela for the American oil companies will be a field day.
I didn't think this war was a wise decision, but if it helps the oil companies smile again. So basically, all the bullshit reasons we used to justify the disastrous war in Iraq, the non-interventionist Trump regime are trotting out to justify war in Venezuela. So how is this war not considered a foreign entanglement? Well, it's easy, by redefining the word foreign.
And America first means we need a Western hemisphere where America is dominant.
If you're focused on America and America first, you start with your own hemisphere where we live.
America first also means the Americas first.
South America literally has the name America in it.
Wait, but people can't come over here. Ain't we kicking Venezuelans out? How is that America? It's America first when we want y'all oil. But it ain't America first when y'all need to come over here for asylum. Like, and say, I'm sorry, I'm messing up the words. I told you this morning. Make this make sense. It's America first. We need to come over there and we need to replace the president. because America first starts with stuff that's in this hemisphere. But y'all can't come over here though. It's Americas, and that's South part of South America. But then when they try to come over here, y'all like they not like us. They not like us.
So it's ours. Our name is on it. We own that shit. Don't you get it? America's new foreign policy is basically this. Don't kill people there. Kill them over here. In your own time zone. It's classic advice. Shit where you eat.
Oh, Jon Stewart. We need you.
Okay, so that was when they were striking the boats. And y'all also know there was a big thing that they believed that America had, well, the certain people, I'm gonna say Democrats, but it was Republicans that was also with them, with some of the Democrats. That's why I'm hesitant to say Democrats, but it was a belief that America and Trump, in ordering this boat strike, was committing a war crime because one of the boat strikes left two people alive, and they double tapped. Like they left two people alive, and not only was they just alive, and then they sent down another bomb. It was like that they was alive. They held on in the water on floating pieces of the boat for hours, and then they sent another bomb to kill those two people that they left alive. I said, I believe it's because it's going to be pretty hard to, if you got two witnesses, if you saying that these are D boats, and you got two witnesses that was left alive, and they could come, and if they come and say that wasn't a D boat, that was a fisherman boat, something like that, then when y'all know when you do crime, you can't leave witnesses. I don't know. I'm not a criminal anymore. So let me remove this. Okay, so let's go to the recent and what has happened recently. I'm sorry. Did I say hey to y'all? Come on in, like the video if you haven't liked the video already. I know I haven't been on here like that, and I explained the reason why. But like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for coming back, and I forget to give my thank yous. Let me give my thank you.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
I also, y'all know what's coming up. I don't know if y'all seen that whole this MAGA influencer named Nikki. What's his name? Nikki Shirley or something like that. When they went to daycares, and they said all these Somalians in Minnesota was committing all these millions of dollars in frauds and making up these daycares, and he had a video. It got over, it's close to 3 million views right now. But his video has been debunked. That was something that I had planned to do too, didn't get around to it because of everything that was happening. But I want to show y'all that's what I'm looking up right now. The videos of the news reports of the Venezuelan president getting arrested, which is absolutely crazy because, as you know, part of it was supposed to be the drugs is what they're getting arrested for. And these boats of drugs is weapons of mass destruction. And then he went and pardoned a president that was convicted. Not it wasn't just assumed. He was convicted, and he was serving time for selling 400 tons of drugs to the U.S. And he got pardoned. So I'm like, how important is these drugs? Hey, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Okay, here it is. And let me show y'all the video of Trump arresting the Venezuelan president. Oops. And then we're going to talk about what he said at that press conference when he said that that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela, and it's going to sell off their drug. I mean, sorry, not their oil. I was just Maya, if you go look at the peace agreement that's between the peace agreement that they came up with for Ukraine and Russia. I was like, that's not you. It's so many wars going on. It's so many wars going on. But the peace agreement that he came up for what's going to happen in the Gaza and Gaza Strip, that it's supposed to be the U.S. and it's going to be like a board. They said that I did a video about this. Y'all have to go watch it. So and also like the video. So it's supposed to be for Gaza. They're gonna turn it back over to the hands of the people that live there, right? And they're gonna have them run it. But it's when you look into the peace agreement, it's actually going to be the U.S. and a board of people that they have to go through in order to get anything done. So pretty much the same thing of what he's saying right here for Venezuela is what they had in the peace agreement for the Gaza Strip. So So let me show y'all the news report of it because this one, I don't like that this one is skipping too much. I'm gonna show you the news report of the president of Venezuela getting and his wife getting arrested when it was breaking news.
Will run Venezuela, at least temporarily, and tap its vast oil reserves. President Trump posted this.
Now to that breaking news happening in South America after the U.S. military operations in Venezuela capturing President Nicolas Maduro.
Maduro is now in U.S. custody and on U.S. soil this evening. Today, President Trump announced that the U.S. will run Venezuela, at least temporarily, and tap its vast oil reserves. President Trump posted this image on his social media page with the caption, Nicolas Maduro on board the USS Iwo Jima. We are now learning Mr. Trump watched from Mar-a-Lago as multiple explosions and low-flying aircraft were heard around 2 a.m. local time in the Venezuelan capital city of Caracas.
The Trump administration says it did not inform Congress of this operation out of fear of information leaking. But for weeks now, the U.S. had been ramping up pressure on Maduro, seizing 2 oil tankers, pursuing a third, and striking alleged drug boat smugglers with missiles. Maduro and his wife have now been charged with drug crimes against the U.S. and conspiracy.
Do y'all know with the season of the oil tank? Because I did not do the research, but the question just popped in my head. Like, if this was about the drugs, why are you seizing the oil tanks? I don't know. What was the reason that they gave for seizing the oil tanks? I really didn't look it up to see. Because that was when I was watching the news before everything happened. They had only seized 1, but what they just reported that they seized 2 and was on their way to seizing the third. So if this not about the oil and this is about the drugs, why are we seizing these people oil?
This is video of U.S. agents escorting Maduro and his wife upon their arrival in New York City. You just saw that video just a moment ago. Maduro and other Venezuelan officials were indicted in 2020 on narco-terrorism conspiracy charges, but the Justice Department has now released a new indictment against the couple, painting the regime as a, quote, corrupt, illegitimate government fueled by a drug trafficking operation that flooded the U.S. with cocaine. Newly inaugurated mayor of New York City, Zoran Mandami, posted to social media saying he disagrees with the invasion and is monitoring the jailing of Maduro in his city.
Questions, of course, rising now whether Trump did this because of drugs or whether he did this because of oil. Oil was the main reason that the president himself gave today, and of course he has pardoned drug traffickers in the past rather than continue to prosecute them, while now having Nicolas Maduro in custody. In that video, you got a sneak preview of Union del Barrio, the Community Self-Defense Coalition, and other local organizations hosting a rally today to condemn the president's invasion and takeover. This hands-off Venezuela rally was one of many under the same name across the country today. At the top of their list of demands was that the U.S. free Venezuelan President Maduro. They called Trump's threat of the U.S. controlling Venezuela a, quote, psychological war. The groups also made it known they support the Bolivarian Revolution, the socialist-leaning movement started by Hugo Chavez in 1999 and carried on by Maduro.
Start doing this
Okay,
with your
so
dog.
just see there, they had said that the president said that the point of seizing the oil tank was for the oil. But I went and looked it up. I said, what did they give for the reason for seizing the oil tank? So I'm gonna show y'all this article. And this is how my channel go. If I have a question, I go. Venezuela coast was part of what the U.S. Treasury Department calls the shadow fleet, which used false identifying information or location signal to evade sanctions. So what this is pretty much saying, okay, I'm putting it in my words. They bamboozled the shit out of y'all, out of America. They charge more for this or whatever aid we're sending y'all, we're going to cut it off if you continue to do this type of thing. So they had put a sanction on Venezuelan oil in order to get the president under, because Venezuela relies heavily on its oil for the whole country to run. So they put a sanction on its oil. They just took these boats and they're saying that Venezuela went and tried to do a okey doke where the Venezuela went and falsified who these ships belong to, so the U.S. wouldn't know these was Venezuela ships, and they put up a fake flag that wasn't the actual ship flag because the ship is saying that it's from Panama, not Venezuela. So they is taking these ships and saying that these are Venezuela ships. We don't give a fuck what this flag say. That's pretty. Jesus Christ, it ain't even funny because it's like early in Trump, earlier Trump, well shit, how can I say early? We ain't even a year in. Earlier this year, I'm quite sure y'all seen the clip that went around where Trump was saying the Democrats have always said they believe it's Trump getting in office. The plan is to be a dictator, and they feel like he's not gonna leave. And when it came out, and Trump's then made 2028 hats, selling hats that says Trump 2028 as if he's running. And he said he's just doing that, to piss people off. And as a Gemini, that's something I would do. But oh, you say I'm gonna do this? Do hats and make money. First I'll find a fan base who believe anything I say. I said I'm shit. They ban it. Now so that's one reason to make money. But then he said he's just doing that because the Democrats keep saying it. But then Trump, you let him talk long enough, he gonna tell you something. So then after the people kept asking him, they were like, well, is there any plans on you running in 2028? And he said that, well, if the US is in, he said his people are looking into it. And then he eventually said that if the US is in an active war, then you could stop the elections. So, but believe that it's a law, old law, that if the U.S. is in an active war, then you don't have to have elections. So that's what he came out and said. And since the beginning, people have been, first it was the war on, on the D and not that D, the DRUG. So first it was the war on that, then is these boats of mass destructions. And I'm like, I felt like that the U.S. was just over there bullying people, just like, okay, we finna keep blowing up this shit, and what you gonna do about it? If Venezuela over there like, baby D, we over there chasing their ass around that tree in the parking lot like Day. But Lord have mercy, I don't know how you Latins was Latins for Trump. I guess y'all over there like they not like us. We ain't from there. Don't matter. That's what he's shipping everybody back to. But yeah, okay. So I think I showed y'all all the videos where he said that the plan is for the U.S. to the U.S. with a border people to run the country for now. To me, I was like, this is just insane. Like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all one more, but I believe I showed y'all all of this, but we're gonna go through it. Now that he's talking about Venezuelan oil. And he asked him, China and Russia get their oil from Venezuela. What are you gonna do about them getting their oil? Oh, that's all shit now. We gonna sell them Venezuelan oil. I don't. Trump is over there like, I don't know what's so confusing. Like, if you had a car and I stole it, yes, you're gonna have to call me and pay to. And now I'm Ubering in your shit. This is pretty much what's happening. If somebody had a car, you go steal their fucking car. They need to get back and forth to work, but they take your car and they start Ubering in your damn car, and you need you hear that Chicago car in that car. Yeah, I'm not 2026. I'm not finna be this dialect is what y'all finna get. Okay, this year. So somebody steal your car, and then they started Ubering in your car, but you need to get back and forth to work. And they like, okay, I can pick you up, but you still got to call the Uber and pay for the Uber. You like, for my shit? Yes. They gonna start, doing what they want to do in your car. You can see that shit going to pick up other people all you want to. And the police go arrest them. Like, ain't this man car? They like, it used to be, but it's mine now, and I'm finna make money off this shit. So he needs to go on. Matter of fact, arrest him for calling you for bothering me. The U.S. Lord have mercy. I'm
Venezuela has
sorry,
been
I
a
didn't add
bust,
it
a
to the
total
stream.
bust
Let me
for
go
a
back.
long period
This
of
is what I was
time.
talking about. This is what I said.
China, Russia, and Iran have interests in Venezuela. How does this operation affect your relationships with them when
Well,
it
in
comes to
terms
the
of
oil and the
China
drugs?
and Russia, Russia when we get things straightened out. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. We're going to run the country
Hey,
until such time.
no, he not finna go to somebody else's house. And that's he doing the same thing. It's the same shit over and over again. You gonna take somebody else's house that they still living in, finna go in and redecorate it because you like, this shit is all fucked up. Y'all ain't even living up in here right. Matter of fact, you ain't even cooking that meal right. Let me go ahead and go buy some groceries. I'm gonna show you how to cook this shit. I'm gonna cook it, but I'm gonna use your kitchen and shit. It don't matter as all this is yours. I'm finna go buy this. I'm finna cook it. You finna have to repay me for these fucking groceries I done bought to cook this food. And you know, you just sat over there. Let me handle all this, and you gonna give me my money back, and you still ain't gonna be able to control what's going on over here because I know how to cook better than you.
As we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
What type of transition?
We're going to run the country until such time
Judicious.
as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So
That's what I said.
we don't want to be
Judicious.
involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious.
It gotta be judicious.
Because that's what we're all about.
It gotta be judicious.
We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela.
Now, this is you admitting that Venezuela, that the people living there don't have, you had to remove the president because he was so horrible and made it so hard to live there. But then when they came over here, you like, no, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Like, what? This shit is insane.
And that includes
Go ahead,
many
Trump. Let 'em
from
cook.
Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let.
So he's saying we have to take control of this shit because if somebody else get in office, it's better the devil you know. So we have y'all best interests at hand. Now that we done took over y'all country, y'all could go back home. You can get out the US. Y'all can go back home because we fixing up y'all country. We make it better for y'all. Y'all gonna have to pay us this money back. Not us, because he gonna have his billionaires and the oil company people. So he may not even use the taxpayers' money. That's what it sounded like. His reason for taking over the oil company is gonna sell it and things because these people know what they're doing. So it sounds like he's probably just going to sell it to his friends. And they're going to fix it up and they're going to invest their money in Venezuela oil structure so they can take their oil, so they could take their oil and and we're going to fix y'all shit up. But y'all going to have to pay my friends their money back. And y'all can go back home now because we over there, fixing your shit.
If that happened, we're there now. And what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay.
So what that is translating to, we're going to stay there until we get ready to leave. So don't ask us about no departure date. What's that similar to? Does that sound like the Iraq War to you?
Until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time.
Now, mind you, that I just read to y'all that the oil in Venezuela, the money that they make from the oil runs the country. That's a significant part of where they get their finances from. But he's like, y'all oil company ain't doing shit, and we need to come over here and take it because y'all don't know what y'all doing. So this is his justification about that. That makes somebody walking past your house and be like, your grass needs to be cut. You know what? You don't even need this house because you ain't taking care of the way you need to. In fact, I'm finna come in here and move in your house so I can take care of your landscaping because you don't know what you're doing. And you just sit there and be quiet. I got it.
They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave.
Attack on who? You got the president. You got his wife. You and the U.S. is taking control of Venezuela. Who are we staging an attack against? This is nuts. Who are we staging an attack against? The people who own the company who refuse to give you their doggone votes? Who are we staging an attack against? And to be fair, there are some people who celebrated in Venezuela who celebrated that the president was arrested, that the president and the wife. There are some people who said they did feel like he's a dictator, that he did need to be replaced. But the problem comes in is that, first of all, Trump didn't get the Congress approval to go and pretty much declare war on another country. You invaded another country. Like, you can put the fancy words around it if you want, but you pretty much invaded another country and then took over that country and taken over their main resource. So that's what you did. So you did all that without Congress approval, and you're just like, fuck y'all, I do what I want. What's that South Park episode? I do what I want. Y'all can't tell me what to do. I do what I want. When he was acting like he was on Murray, the girl on Murray. Anyway. Oh my God. Okay, let's continue because I got to get out of here.
If we needed to do so, we actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that. The first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually.
And
this was pinpoint.
And that's what I was saying. What are we doing the second wave for? You got the president, you got his wife, you took over the country. What are we doing the second wave for? And like I was saying, some people are happy, but they did not want the U.S. to be in control of their country. It's their country, so they're happy, but they like, okay, you didn't came and you didn't moved out, the problem, but now you are now the new dictator. We didn't want a dictator. You just replaced one for another. Like how so there are some people who celebrate, there are some people who celebrate, but still don't want the US there. There's protests going on here in the US from the people who feels like that you invaded a country, who feel like that this shouldn't have been done. People didn't agree with the boat strikes, and people thought that was a war crime. Now he's doing this, so.
But we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States.
Does that sound like a threat to the people in Venezuela who may try to, come together and fight back? That he's like, oh, you thought this is, oh, we ready to do much, much more. Around, find out if you want to. This is what he just told them people of Venezuela to me.
States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe.
You said that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. So who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela.
See, and you see, he said, we're going to. Her question was, who's in charge right now? You didn't just took the president and his wife. Who's in charge right now? What he said was, well, what's going to happen? Don't ask about what's going on now. I'm going to tell you what's finna happen.
By this thug are also taken care of.
The U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind.
You're about to say, that's my favorite song. I got my boots on the ground. Trump about to start singing. We love them boots on the ground, okay? He finna turn around and do the dance and everything. Go ahead.
Saying it. But we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to. We're going to run the country right. It's going to be run very judiciously, very fairly.
If the whole goal was to remove the president because the president, was a horrible president and was with drugs, you removed him. So I'm quite sure there's I don't know what Venezuelan governmental structure is. I'm quite sure there's somebody up under him who comes up. So, okay.
We're going to give money to the people. We're going to reimburse people that were taken advantage of. We're going to take care of everybody. It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. They stole our oil. We built that whole industry there, and they just took it over like we were nothing. And we had a president that decided not to do anything about it. So
he's saying he getting payback. He's saying that the U.S. was the one who built the Venezuela oil in the first place. So technically, shit's crazy. So technically, that's all shit anyway. So that's like Come on, Native Americans. That's like, I know Native Americans love him, and like, we need him on our team, because that's like the Native Americans saying, you know what? This was our land anyway. This was originally our shit. And so now we just taking it back. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Thing about it. We're late, but we did something about it. Yeah, please.
Can you explain the exact mechanism by which you're going to run the country? Are you going to designate a U.S. official to coordinate?
Yes, it's all being done right now. We're designating people. We're talking to people. We're designating various people, and we're going to let you know who those people are.
That would run Venezuela.
Well, it's largely going to be, for a period of time, the people that are standing right behind me. We're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's a dead, I talk about a dead country. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world. And it required leadership. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there, a lot of bad people that shouldn't be leading. We're not going to take a chance that one of those people take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others, we have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
How long do you expect the U.S. to run Venezuela, and how soon do you want the Venezuelan people to hold elections?
So I'd like to do it quickly, but it takes a period of time. We're rebuilding. We have to rebuild their whole infrastructure. The infrastructure.
Something is wrong here.
It's actually very dangerous.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Dangerous thing to take out of the ground. Can kill a lot of people. It has killed a lot of people doing just that. The infrastructure is old. It's rotted. Much of it is stuff that we put there 25 years ago, and we're going to be replacing it. And we're going to take a lot of money out so that we can take care of the country. Yeah.
Are you saying that Secretary Rubio and
Mr. President, China, Russia, and Iran have interests in Venezuela. How does this operation affect your relationships with them when it comes to the oil and the drugs?
And Russia, Russia, when we get things straightened out. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil.
Got it!
Probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now. But I would say many more will come.
President, thank you. Are you saying that Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela, and will you be sending in U.S. military troops to provide?
They're going to be a team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over. You have a vice president who's been appointed by Maduro, and right now she's the vice president, and she's, I guess, the president. She was sworn as president just a little while ago. She had
So now, since they did that, and what if somebody come in, arrest Trump and his wife, but then say we finna run the U.S. because Trump is the one who appointed J.D. Vance, so we can't trust J.D. Vance to run the U.S. He's the one who appointed him. You see how crazy it is?
A long conversation with Marco, and she said, "We'll do whatever you need." I think she was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. We're going to have this done right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, let it go to hell. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world go in and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela.
Wait, in this whole spiel, I haven't heard anything about the DRUG that that he initially went in there for. It's about taking over a country, running it properly, and getting that oil. Because what happened with these drugs that y'all said this whole thing started from is this drug that's coming from over there that's unaliving millions of Americans.
Venezuela.
So let's continue about this
the
oil.
biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela. And also, I can't stress this strongly enough, the people that got thrown out of Venezuela that are now in the United States, and frankly, some want to stay and some probably want to go back.
Is your message here for Cuba and Diaz-Canel?
Well, Cuba's an interesting case. Cuba is, not doing very well right now. That system has not been a very good
Oh
one for
Lord, we
Cuba. The
finna
people
take
there have
somebody else.
suffered for many, many years.
Come on.
And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about because Cuba is a failing nation right now, very badly failing nation. And we want to help the people of it's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people in Cuba,
Just said it.
but we want
Just said
to
it.
also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about, when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. Suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster. It's.
Yeah, he said what he said. And he pretty much called Mark Rubio up there. Mark Rubio, like what he said. I don't know what else I got to say. So if Trump's saying that okay, they similar and we may have to go up in Cuba, then he like my man's in them ain't lying. Like if he said we were gonna take Cuba like we just took Venezuela to steal all their resources, we gonna take Cuba. We've been trying to get that shit for years since they allowed sanctuary for the people who was running from Angela Davis and shit. Like we still mad about that. Yeah, we taking Cuba. That's my translation, y'all.
Run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, they were, all of the guards that helped protect Maduro. This is well known. Their whole spy agency, all that were full of Cubans. I mean, it's amazing. This poor island took over.
So you see how they took over Venezuela, and they were saying that the terrorists is in Venezuela and the terrorists are helping. Now they saying that it was it was the Cubans that was in Venezuela. So now we finna have to go over there too. We finna have to go over there. We're gonna have to take their shit.
For Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit.
Well, I guess we know what's coming
already
next.
announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned, it's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's a pre-existing.
Mr. President.
The answer is yes. Yes.
Aware of the location of opposition leader Machado, and have you been in contact with her?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Mr. President.
Do you have any hesitations about Machado?
Mr. President, on Monday.
Oh, I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect to be the leader.
Talking about the vice president of Venezuela and why y'all just ain't letting the vice president run the country. He like, well, he probably want to say she's a woman.
Is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial. So it's not going to cost us anything. We want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing.
So the news reporter asked him, well, is it possible that the U.S. is going to end up invading, and staying in Venezuela for years? He like, and if we do, it's free for us because we're using all they oil to pay for this shit. What's the problem? That's my translation.
All of our enemies all over the world. That's what was happening, and you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding, and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We're going to get reimbursed for everything that we spend. So it's going to be a very important. This is a very big evening that took place last night. We have to be surrounded by
safe. So anyway, it boils down to that he's like, we're gonna do what we want to do when we want to do it. That's pretty much it. And he's like, we got that shit. We gonna stay there until we suck them dry. We're gonna suck them dry, then we're gonna leave. So at this point, I'm just like, well, I'm watching this news conference and just saying,
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
So I'm finna get out of here, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media, Tootie Talk Sense. And
Have the day you voted for.
So I would end it by saying what I always say. It's easy to be an alpha among sheep, but be an alpha among alpha. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Bye.